Hello, Eagle fans. Pat Wadlington here, and welcome to the Decatur Eagles Coaches Show. It's been a couple of weeks since we've talked to you, and in those 2 weeks, the Eagles have put 2 more games into the win column. 2 weeks ago, they brought home the sand and the trophy from Bridgeport in the Battle of the Big Sandy, 57-22. Coach, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. We have a lot to go over tonight. We got some special guests. I have a question for you.
Okay.
But let's talk about the Bridgeport game a little bit. It went really, really well, did it not?
It did. Winning by a big margin against your rivals was always a good thing. 59-27. I think it was 56-27 last year, but we really got off to a great start and finished strong, and everybody got in the game. Everybody got to participate and be a part of it. So it was a really nice feeling.
Yeah, and in that game, our offense was clicking. And Tyler Tickner had a hot hand.
Yeah.
Peyton was doing his usual thing. Durden scored a couple of times. Gunnar Parker scored. Parker Hicks caught 2 touchdown passes. Everything was working, wasn't it?
Everything was working, from an offensive standpoint. Our defense, did great. Settled down after the first drive, where we knew Bridgeport would make some plays, and they did in that first drive. But once they settled down, it was a great night from our defense. I think everything starts just like always with the offensive line up front, and they did a tremendous job, and we were able to move the ball, really all night. I think we didn't really. I don't know if it's a school record, but it's it was a really good offensive production yardage wise. I think we had 358 yards rushing and 351 yards passing in the same game. So that's it's always fun to do. Very, very balanced. We were efficient in all areas, but it was a great time for Decatur to be on TV.
It was.
Channel 21 came out and it was a great atmosphere like always. A good opponent. And that's a good, clean rivalry. It's a good. There's no real bad blood between the two teams other than they just want to beat each other. So it's nice, friendly rivalry. What high school football ought to be about.
And I don't want to leave the defense out either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the statistics were, but I was there, and they were harassing Corbin Coleman all night and making things difficult for him. Keenan Holman, their athlete,
yes,
he got loose a couple of times, and that's going to happen. But overall, the defense just shut them down.
They did, especially if you take one aspect of a team away, and what we did was take the run game away. There was no place for them to run, and that makes a team one-dimensional. If anybody's one-dimensional, they better be really good at that dimension. It was a great night from our defensive front, secondary, the whole 9 yards. It's an overall team effort and a good time to have it, going into that open week.
Well, Coach, I know that our video production team, consisting of Tony Mooney, has done a great job getting some video prepared for the people watching this show, and we've got some of the video of the events that led up to the Battle of the Big Sandy, and then some great highlights coming your way right now.
A company always on the run, a destiny, it's the rising sun. I was born a shotgun in my hands, behind the gun, I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me Bad Company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. but we've all gotta die. We've all gotta die. And that's why they call me bad company. I won't deny. Bad company till the day I die. Bad company. I won't deny. Bad company. Till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die.
How's it feel about the game?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great. Hey, we will never lose to a Bridgeport Bull, ever.
Nice.
I'd rather die before I lose to a Bridgeport Bull.
There we go. How's it feel to be Bridgeport?
Well, it feels pretty good. Never lost to him since 7th grade, so I'm pretty happy.
How's it feel to be Bridgeport?
Feels freaking awesome. I love it.
Nice. It's your senior year, man. Did you ever lose to Bridgeport?
I've never lost to Bridgeport.
Nice. That's what I wanted to hear. Are you ever going to lose to Bridgeport?
No.
Never.
Never.
Nice.
Coach, this past Friday night, we made the long trip to Nestorville.
Yes.
Burkburnett, formerly known as
Formerly known
Nestorville.
as Nestorville.
Google
Yes.
it. Google it, Eagle fans.
Yes.
We went to Burkburnett and played a team that up to that point in time had been struggling, and it was not an easy win.
No, you know what? They won their first two games of the year. Had some injuries. You know, dealt with some setbacks, and then we're on a 3-game losing streak. But you know, as I told our kids all along, you know, going they had an open week too. Everything starts fresh in district. It's a brand new ball game when you start district. You know, the grass technically should seem greener and brighter. Maybe not up there, but on you know, when you get into district play, everything's just intensified a little bit. Their fans were fired up. It's a tough place to play, and they came out and all their guys were healthy and really came out with a lot of fire and intensity and you know, they got some good athletes. And it was some tough sledding early on, but you know, like I knew our guys would. They kept battling, kept playing the next play, and eventually took that 2-touchdown lead right before half, and it was a good night for us.
Well, they hit us with some big plays.
Mm-hmm.
It really in the second quarter, we jumped out 14-0 lead, and they hit us with some big plays. And you know, it was 21-21, and you know, as usual, Peyton McAllister was carrying the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a great night.
Yeah, he did. You know, I think the key sequence in the game was, you know, after they tied it up with a minute and a half right before halftime. You know, their fans are going crazy. They're all excited. Everybody's fired up, and you know, our offense went out there. We got 3 timeouts. Turns out we didn't have to use any of them. We scored in, I don't know, 5 or 6 plays, and you know, scored a touchdown with 11 seconds left on the clock. And that's good, but it's not really a backbreaker by any means. We kick off to them, and they you know, try to trick play, you know, kind of a desperation. You know, it's a little bit of a risk when you try something like that at the end of the half. Tried a little reverse pass, throw back to the quarterback, and Jorge Martinez sniffed it out, and And we finished the half on a pick six. To go up 14, that was a big deal. I still think they came out in the second half still playing hard, still giving effort, but that was huge in the game, because at that point we figured offensively, if we didn't turn it over, which we had a fumble in the second half that kept us from scoring once, but every time we were stopped in the first half, it was from penalties. We had a long touchdown run called back on a drive where we didn't score. We had another time we got down close and got consecutive holding penalties. Looking at the film, maybe it's a little nitpicky, but what happened, I was proud of our guys, the way they fought back. And the bottom line is we went to Burkburnett, formerly known as Nestorville,
right,
to win a football game, to start 1-0 in district, and we did it.
Yeah, it was the second half. We finally took control, like I expected us to. But speaking of Jorge and the interception right before half, that was Jorge Martinez. We have two special guests from the Burkburnett game coming up right now: Jorge Martinez and Leighton Brooks. Here we are with Leighton Brooks, defensive player of the game for the Eagles last Friday night against Burkburnett. Leighton had 9 tackles, 4 for sacks, first district game of the year. Came off with a big victory. Leighton, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What got into you Friday night, man? I mean, you guys, you brought it Friday night. What do you credit it to?
Just got really pumped before the game. I knew it was the first district game. Needed to step it up.
Could you tell in the locker room that the defense was going to play well?
Yeah, and throughout practice during the week, we were all going pretty hard.
Well, we had a couple of your I guess position mates on the show a couple of weeks ago, Drew Anderson and Coy Johnson, that had moved to your position, I guess on the other side for the most part. You, however, have been playing defensive end all season. You're the mainstay. Talk about how that's been, just to go every week and get better and better at what you're doing.
It's been pretty challenging. I mean, a lot of new competition stepping up. Just been practicing pretty hard. I've been stepping my game up a little bit.
Is it fair to say everybody's pushing each other, everybody's making everybody better at practice?
Yes, sir.
Well, if that continues, we can finish out district really well. So I appreciate you being on the show. Great game Friday night.
Thank you.
You bet. Here we are with Jorge Martinez, number 12 of the Decatur Eagles. Jorge, we could have had you on the show virtually every week, and we haven't had you on yet. But if you go to the Moby and look at the players of the week or players of the game, every week you'll see number 12, Jorge Martinez. And this week Jorge had 2 interceptions, 6 tackles. And, Jorge, there was one play right before the end of the first half. The Bulldogs had tied the game 21-all with about 2 minutes left in the half. Our offense went down and scored, but with about 10 seconds left in the half, they tried a trick play.
Yes, sir.
Walk me through what happened.
Well, I don't know what they ran, but they tried to run like a little throwback, what we do on practice. Sometimes like a little trick play. Threw it to the other side across the field, and I was like, well, that's my ball. It's up in the air. It's going to be mine. And saw Trey. I thought Trey was about to make a play on that ball, then he fell. So I kind of sped up and ran full speed and caught that ball.
And then you took
it back for a pick 6.
To the house.
Yes, sir.
So that was a great way to end the half, was it
yes,
not?
Sir.
Well, I know this is probably not the last time that we're going to see Jorge on the show, and Jorge's been playing great all season. So I appreciate you being with us.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, bud. Now we have a special segment for you this week. This week we're going to walk in and talk to the trainers for the Decatur Eagles. Here we are with the Eagle Sports Medicine team. We got Fernando Escobar, Camden Phillips, Camden with a K, right?
That's right.
All right. Coach Escobar, you've been here for a while, and now your relationship has changed a little bit. Explain the relationship that you have on behalf of Fit and Wise and the district.
Well, I'm employed through Wise Regional Health System, and pretty much contracted through Decatur ISD, and they pretty much give me a stipend, another salary on the side, but the relationship is pretty much we are all just affiliated with the hospital. That's our main source. That's our contact group. But we work full time with the high school, and we work hand in hand with the coaches and the athletes. We are full time, all time at the school. We work out of the training room. Seems like 24/7, especially during football season.
We're sitting in your home.
This is my living room.
This is where we repair the walking wounded.
This is it.
It's quite a full-time job, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Walk me through. Let's say you have a player down on the field in a game. You're not moving a lot. Just walk us through what do you do when you first get out there? What do you check for?
Try to keep it pretty simple. Do what we call the ABCs. Check the airway, breathing, and circulation, just to rule out anything significant. You want to rule out cervical spine fractures, any kind of cardiac, concussion. You start with the seriousness of what could be the worst case scenario out there, and then the rest just goes off of what we've experienced. And a lot of it, there is some learning things that we encounter, but at the same time, we rule out all the bad stuff and just go with our guts after that.
Get them over the sideline and determine whether they're questionable or out for the night or whatever.
Exactly. Just get them back on the field as soon as we can.
Now, how long have you been here in Decatur, either with Fit and Wise or working for the district director?
I've just completed my 7th year here at Decatur. Started in the spring of 05. Take that back. 06 with the hospital, and I jumped on board here, and then been privileged to work for Decatur ISD.
Good. Well, Camden?
Sir.
You're the young man on the team.
That's right.
I won't even ask you how young because it'll make me feel bad. Tell us a little bit about where you came from and where you went to college and all that kind of stuff.
Originally grew up and was raised in Altus, Oklahoma. Went to Altus High School. Graduated from Southwestern Oklahoma State University in Weatherford, Oklahoma in 2014. So there you go. I kind of hint at how young I am. This last year I spent over in Abilene, Texas at ACU as a GA. I was with the cross country and track teams, and then now I've been blessed to be here in Decatur.
Good. You enjoying it so far?
Oh, absolutely. It's a blast getting to work with this guy every day. A bunch of good kids we have on staff, and all our coaches on staff as well. I mean, it's a joy to get up and come to work every day. Absolutely.
Well, we got to spend a little bit of time together in College Station during 7-on-7, and I got to see you work on my son.
That's right.
And amidst his concussion, and did a great job.
Thank you.
He's still with us.
That's right. That's right.
But there was an injury Friday night that I was watching to one of the players, and it had a shoulder out of socket, and you guys were over there working on him, and tell me how that works when a shoulder is out of the socket. What are you trying to do?
Well,
other than put it back in, I get it.
Basically what happens is when the shoulder comes out, the ball and socket joint, the ball kind of slides out. Basically what you're trying to do, give a little traction, give a little oomph, so it'll slide back in and everything will get back to setting normal.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, it doesn't.
It hurts.
It's a little fun for us just because it's a cool feeling and things like that, but for the athlete, absolutely not.
Right. He'll be in here tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Probably getting treatment.
Absolutely.
Along with some other guys. But these are the men that keep your Eagles on the field. Fernando Escobar and Camden Phillips. Well, Coach, it's your favorite time.
Yeah.
We're going to do it a little bit different this week. It's the time for the Around the Town question. And Around the Town is 2 feet from you because I have the question this week. There was a play Friday night where a Burkburnett or Nestorville player caught a pass, long pass, and ran it in for a touchdown. Did some celebrating on the way in, and a flag was thrown. And after a bit of discussion, the penalty was for unsportsmanlike conduct against that young man. But instead of enforcing a 15-yard penalty on the extra point or the kickoff, they took the touchdown away from them and backed it up 15 yards from wherever it was that the foul first started. Now, is that a new rule?
I would say it's less than 10 years old. It was changed some time ago, to make it more penalizing to do something unsportsmanlike like that. It used to. I think it was made popular by Deion Sanders. NFL, it's one thing. what starts in the NFL goes into college football, and kids see it on TV, and then that trickles down to high school. And sometimes in those days, people were content to just take the 15-yard penalty the player was, and take his punishment, whatever that might be from the coach. But a few years ago, they made the penalty for that if the excessive celebration took place before the score, or taunting or whatever it is. Sometimes it's holding the ball out or pointing your finger at somebody or whatever. Then it's supposed to be penalized from that spot. The official called threw the flag. They come over and asked me if we wanted the penalty for excessive celebration, if we wanted it on the extra point or on the kickoff, and I simply asked, did that not occur before he scored? And the linesman on our side said, that's a good point. Yes, he did. And he went and talked to the referee, and they came back and all agreed that it happened before that, so they penalized him from the 3-yard line. Best that they could remember where he started that. I think it was more like the 10 or 15, but so they penalized it from right there and backed him up and gave us a chance to make him snap it again. So hopefully we I use that as an example for our players.
Absolutely.
That hopefully we get in that situation, we don't do something silly like that, and we've been much better about not getting personal fouls this year, because all they do is end up hurting your team.
Well, pays to know the rules better than the referee, doesn't it?
Sometimes that pays off.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, let's talk a little bit about this week. We've got homecoming.
Right.
It's a big week. We've got the Eagles are facing the Mineral Wells Rams this
Right.
Friday night at 7:30. As I said, it's homecoming. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it's going to be a pink out at the game. Wear your pink. If you're going to be in the stands, any male member of the Chapman family, this won't be a problem for. They'll have pink on already anyway. But it's going to be a big night.
It will be a big night. Yeah, I mean, it's a big night, from our perspective as the Decatur Eagle football team, because it's a district football game.
Right.
Homecoming is a big deal. We're talking this week about keeping our eyes on the prize, and our prize is the district championship, and Mineral Wells is coming to town, for that second win in district if we can get it.
Right.
And that's the only thing I want our guys focused on. They can take care of the moms, take care of their dates, and everything else, as well. But that doesn't have one bit of bearing on the football game. So that's what we've got to stay focused on every year. That's for every coaching staff in America, the homecoming game is a challenge to keep that happening. On the flip side of that, kids are excited because a lot of people come back to watch the game, so it's usually a good atmosphere, good crowd, and this year we happen to have a great opponent.
Yeah.
Mineral Wells is 1-0 in district. They beat Hershey really bad last week. Hershey looks to be getting better. I think they moved some kids up and they're athletic, but Mineral Wells handled them fine, and they've won 5 games in a row. Started off with a loss in overtime at the beginning of the year, but they've got an identical record to us. They're strong, tough kids. You can tell they spend a lot of time in the weight room. They're physical. They run a similar defense to us scheme-wise. Offensively, they do a really good job of running the ball and throwing it. You don't really know what's coming at you, but we'll have a work cut out for us. We've got to have a great week of practice to be ready for it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It is a good opponent, and just like every week you say, you got to go out on the field and do your job.
Right.
And if you do, things turn out well, and if you don't, sometimes they don't. But
Right.
every week you got to go to work.
Right.
So, but it's this Friday night, Eagle fans, 7:30 at Eagle Stadium. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring the alumni for homecoming. It's your Eagles against the Mineral Wells Rams. And remember, Eagle fight
Never dies.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the highlights of the game with Burkburnett Bulldogs.